You figured out your rotation for Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, it's TBA, Savali. It's that famous left-hander Joe Tibba. It dependent on how we get through today. We will. We got a decent idea, but again, we got to get through today.
This might be a stupid question, but those guys, Quantrill and Miller, but they can't travel with you, right? So they'll have to find their own way to the West Coast or something, whenever they're.
Whenever they can't go with us.
Right.
Yeah, they're. I mean, they can't come into the ballpark. They're confined to being away from us.
I'm going on a story on Bobby Bradley. What how's his attitude been? Well, his numbers aren't good. How's his attitude been as
He's been still working, which is good. That's what we kind of told him. I mean, I don't think, in his world, this is ideal right now. I understand that. But I told him, I said, you don't know when your opportunity comes. And if you're not ready, then it hurts you. So he's been in the cage a bunch and working. So that's good. It just hasn't clicked yet this year. Hopefully when he does play, it will.
And so, is that really the only way you could get that swing back? Is in the batting cage? Because I mean, when you're hitting 83, are you just playing when someone needs a rest, or how do they get that opportunity? I guess I'm asking.
Well, like he played yesterday,
Mhm.
pretty good chance he plays tomorrow. So he's not, he'll play.
Nice to have a guy like Ernie Clement where you can bounce him around, especially since.
Yeah, and he's reliable too. That's what's good is, you put him somewhere and he's going to make plays. That really helps. We had Mike Aviles, I think that we felt like that some years back, and it helps. It helps more than the numbers that they put up.
Is that harder for a younger guy like Aviles, who's a veteran and had been around?
I think it can be. I think Ernie has taken to it really well. There's a lot of times that veterans seem to handle that better, but Ernie's done a really good job of that.
Speaking of handling stuff, how do you just think your team? We talked about how Chicago came out yesterday. Just how do you think your team dealt with just everything they've done the last 2 days?
Yeah, I mean, when you win, you think everything's good. If you lose, everything's bad. Again, I thought we've competed really well every game, even though games we haven't hit. That doesn't mean the guys haven't competed or stuff like that. I think they're giving everything they have. That's really what you ask for.
The way Quan got to that ball and bare hands, get down the line. I mean, that's probably the only chance he has it, right?
It's funny because I got the worst view of anybody. I thought he actually threw to the cutoff man. I didn't even realize till later that he had thrown it all the way. Yeah, no, that was, again, you look back at that play, if we don't make that play, it's a runner on second, tie game, nobody out, as opposed to 2-1, 1 out and runner on second. So that was obviously a key play in the game.
Does it surprise you at all that Naylor looked like he hasn't missed a step, even though he missed so many at bats in so many months?
Yeah, you know what? He's, in some ways, he may be more ready than some of the other guys with the shortened spring, just because he's been through so much and he's had so much practice. And I know the game is the game, but he had so many at bats down on the minor league field, and he may be ahead of some guys just because of it.
Posey's got 2 grand slams this early in the season. Last week we saw Joe Madden walk Corey Seager with the bases loaded when he was down a run. Is the day coming when a manager sees Jose at the plate with the bases loaded and intentionally walks him?
How do I wouldn't even begin to know how to answer that. I got my hands full managing our team, let alone what the other team's gonna do. My guess would be you won't see that happen very often, regardless of who it is.
Have you ever felt the urge to intentionally walk someone with the bases loaded?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But now I can barely remember last week, but I don't think so.
I know it's
I would be hesitant to do it when you're in that situation. What do you got? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I wrote a note down last night. I can't find it. But like the top three hitters, I don't know. I think they're getting on base like 74 to 80% of the time. They've scored like 40. They've scored like half their runs, like Pond, Straw, and Ramirez. Just how nice is that? And knowing that your fourth hitter really hasn't got going yet.
Because Fran Mill hasn't got going yet, but the guys in front of Jose have been on so much, been hard to kind of pitch around him. Just, I think Straw's got like a 430, 440 on base. You know, Quan's more than that. And that'll probably come back a little bit as, you know, say the same thing when guys aren't hitting. But Jose's certainly taking advantage of it. He just continues to get smarter and smarter, and his skills certainly aren't eroding, but he understands the game so well.
Let's say to you that he's using the other side of the field.
That says to me that look out. Because, you know, I think some of his, just the way he hits, sometimes his hits are foul. But I mean, he squares up ball, but he pulls them foul. You're not seeing very many of those right now because he's staying so middle of the field. I just think he's going to get more hits. All right, guys. What's it like out?